How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another ep. I'm Steve from Stavjet Auto, and on today's ep, it'll probably be a little mini series. Got a customer's car behind me, VN V6 turbo, and I've been set the task of getting it running, converting it over to E85, and putting in a tune and doing a few bits and pieces just to finish it off. All right, so I'll give you a bit of a rundown on the car. It'll probably be in some text because I'm actually not 100% what's actually been done to the engine itself. But Johnny has advised that it's got ARP studs throughout the engine, head studs, main studs, rod bolt, I believe. It's got some Cometics on it. So yeah, it should boogie. It's got a little baby camshaft from the specs that I've seen, and it's got a built turbo 700. I think it's a GT 3582 equivalent Chinese turbo. So yeah, I'll show you the car, and yeah, I guess do a bit of video footage on what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And yeah, hopefully this helps the DIYers out there, anyone wanting to take on the task. Hopefully this video can help you out, and yeah, just feel free to shoot through a comment if you have any questions. I'm sure heaps of people out there are building similar builds. Everyone's got their own budgets, so I guess yeah, always happy to help out wherever I can. Alright, so another thing that this car is running, Haltech Platinum Sport GM. So that's what we're going to be using to tune this combo. Also going to be showing you guys how to install an auxiliary fuel pump on the Platinum Sport series. So if you're going down the same road, want to follow similar build, we'll be running a boost switch, so a high boost, low boost switch on this. What else do we have? A couple of things. I'll take you through it as I go through it, but that's just a couple of them. Haltech Sport GM. Got some Siemens, so the 60-pound Deckers in there, I believe. Twin 044s with a surge. And yeah, so we'll be wiring this up. I'll show you guys how to run the auxiliary fuel pump, so that way we're only running the single pump while cruising around, and then it'll be boost activated, so we'll set that up, maybe 2 psi, 4 psi, and we'll have that second pump coming on. So yeah, that's a bit of a rundown before I start getting into it. But yeah, thought I'd show you guys the starting, well, the start of the build, and I'll take you through the remaining items as we go. Alright guys, so we're getting stuck into the fuel system, and I've just ordered a couple of bits and pieces for this combo. So previously, customer just had the Y block straight onto the pumps. The 044s, they actually don't have check valves, and because we're going to be staging the pumps. Alright, so this is the check valve. You've got the housing, you've got a spring that's seated in there, and then you've got this little valve with a seal. So what happens is and there's a flow side there, so you can see with the directional. So for instance, this would sit like this, and then you'd have the check valve like that. And then what happens is when this pump is triggered on, because it'll be staged, or you'll have, obviously one pump will be on, so this will be open the whole time, and it's very light spring, so probably 1 psi or should open that. And then you'll see that once, for instance, if this pump was on all the time, then that'll just be open and the fuel would flow through here, through those notches. And then, for instance, the staged pump, which will not be on until we hit however we want to trigger that on a PSI basis, that will be shut. And what will happen is, with the pressure of this going into the Y block, it'll actually force the pressure and keep this line shut. So that way you've got full pressure through your lines, and then that's blocked off there. And then as soon as we trigger this pump, it'll engage, and then it will be open as well. So similar process. So I guess yeah, just thought I'd pull down the check valve and show you guys what it looks like. Now we've also ordered a low pressure high volume pump. Whilst we're going through all the troubles of sorting out the fuel system, I reached out to Johnny, and yeah, so I've got a Peerberg low pressure high volume pump, so that way we can fill the surge up, but it won't be pressurized. So yeah, that's for you guys, converting over to a surge tank, using a standard pump or 255. Don't recommend it. You're just heating up the fuel for no reason, and you're pressurizing the surge tank again for no reason. So yeah, we'll be installing that as well once it arrives, but we'll get stuck into the fuel system, and hopefully we can start draining out the tank and flushing it out and putting some fresh E85 in. So let's get stuck into it. So we'll throw the female to female unions on first. So again, when installing AN fittings, there's no need for sealant. I've seen people use like the Teflon paste. Please don't. And you just nip them up. They don't need to be overly tight. So yeah, just a little bit of insight. Alright guys, so I think I've fast-tracked ahead, and I've already gone through, set up the lines, cut the lines up, and run them through the car. So I'll show you guys where we're at with plumbing up the surge tank. So we've hole sawed through some grommets, over through the floor, and we got the 4 hoses running up into the boot. And I'll show you guys, I guess, the plumbing wise. So we've got the feed. So this is now going to be to the rail. So this here is plumbed up to the 516 going through to the rails, and then we've got these lines here. So this one here is running to the return. So if you can see the top, so this will be the return back to the old return line that is on the tank. And then we've got these ones here. So usually how I do it is I've got from the in-tank pump, and that goes on to the lower one, and then I've got this one here. This is the return line from the rail, and I put that in the top, so the third port. Alright, another day getting stuck into it. So got some stuff delivered. Speedflow -6 10 micron filter. Alright. So as you can see, stock fuel filter, so we're going to be removing that and going straight through to, there we go. So I've already cut the line up, installed the hard line adapter, and roofing up the floor. So go ahead and install the fuel filter and remove that, and run the hoses, and another job done. Alright, so just for comparison wise, this is some sort of, I believe, a Raceworks 255, or Walbro equivalent 255, and the Peerberg. So this is a low pressure, high volume pump, and for size wise you can also see the difference as well. It goes like that. So I'll mount that up. Alright, so we've got some submersible fuel line that we'll be using here. Let's Alright, so surge tank's all plumbed up, wired up, and so we've got the twin 044s, twin check valves, TEF cell wiring. So we'll have 1044 running with the in-tank pump, which is now we've got the Pierberg low pressure, high volume pump. So one of those 044s will be running in line with that. And then you've got the second pump, which will be the auxiliary, which will be staged. And we've got the relay for that down there, if you ever forget. Got the instructions there, and then we'll have a look underneath. So this is E85 rubber hose. That's the Gates barricade 516, and so yeah, so plumbed that up there, and then we've got from the 044s, and that's plumbed into, as you can probably see, we've got rid of the old fuel filter that used to be here, and then we've got a speed flow -6 10 micron here, and got a hard line adapter there, so that went on straight onto the 516 line, and then all the rubber line here. So yeah, nice compact install. I recommend these fuel filters, just I guess for peace of mind, and they're reusable, so you can just wash the elements out and bang it back in. So I guess that's always a bonus when you don't have to keep buying fuel filters. Alright, that's that, and if you guys want to have a look, and then we've got go straight into the floor. So next up is we will be tackling the Build Ninja kit. Got the Build Ninja kit here, got some instructions there, and so we'll be tackling that, installing that next, and yeah, so powering through. Shouldn't be too long before we get to start this thing up. Cheers.